Right, here's the first diary of 2024. So let's start with some Somerset Maugham comments. Now, I'm reading a great book in which he appears as a character. So he's my favorite author, Somerset Maugham. And anyway, one of the comments he makes is that you will never be forgotten if you tell stories. Your stories will always be remembered. Yeah, I find that a very uplifting comment. Yes, indeed, I think we all have a story, and so few people actually tell it. So good on you, Somerset. I agree with you. And yeah, then this question of unfairness. Wow, Turing, I think it's Turing was his name, Alan Turing. He was the guy who broke the German military codes during the war. So he was a very smart and intelligent young man, and he shortened the war because he worked out what codes the Germans were using, and the British were able to know what the German tactics were. So it was incredible. I mean, he saved something like, they say, 2 years off the war, saved millions of lives, and yet, because he was homosexual, and he admitted it, the British put him in prison. And in the 1950s, after the war, I think, and he ended up a very sad individual, and they believe that he committed suicide by eating cyanide in an apple. Well, isn't that sad? Because I must say, unfairness is something that interests me. I've always gone through life feeling that life must be fair. Somehow that is, uh, something that's important, that life should be fair. And if it's not fair, well, I'll damn well make it fair. That's been my attitude. And yes, and I think as I've got older, I've realized that this is a flawed attitude. That in fact, life is simply unfair. I mean, just look at Alan Turing. How unfairly was he treated after the huge good he did for humanity, the ingratitude of the people he even saved. So let's not talk about fairness. There is no fairness in life. I agree with you. I agree there. Okay, now what else have I been thinking about? Oh, yes, it's my old friend, the media. Now, I do think I finally got something positive to say in the sense that I've got a solution to this problem of the media. For me, the mass media is the problem of the world at the moment. It is just causing so much trouble. And yeah, so anyway, let's give an example. Uh, let's take, for example, the news. What do you think the news means? Well, in fact, if you listen to the television bulletins of the news, there's just nothing new there. And it's not really the news, it's just a series of little snippets of information which are going to make people prick up their ears and listen or watch. And of course, that is what the program makers want. They want you to listen and watch because then they get advertising revenue and they make money. So the news is just a business, basically. So why have we got in the news then all this cognitive dissonance? Now, what do we mean by that? I don't like using these phrases, but I can't think of anything else. I mean, why do we have all these horrible things in the news, and then we have some nice things as well? They all seem to be randomly selected from geographical parts of the world. This is what I call by cognitive dissonance. The human brain likes consistency and patterns. There's none in the news. The only thing that is consistent about the news is that it is designed to manipulate your emotions, to excite you, make you feel excited, happy, to make you look, to make you click, again, to make money out of you from advertising revenue. So they'll do anything at all to make you watch. It's got nothing to do with news or information, which is originally what it was supposed to do, provide us citizens with information about current events. It's got nothing whatever to do with that. What we have is, we'll have car crashes, bushfires, floods, earthquakes, and if that doesn't excite you, they'll have murders. And then, if that doesn't excite you, they'll have celebrity gossip. And maybe even they'll have, the weather. And then they'll have, if they haven't got anything to tell you, they'll get the anniversary of some disaster that happened a year ago, or 5 years ago, or 20 years ago. Or if that doesn't work, how can we excite the viewer? Well, funerals of people who've been killed. Yes, let's drag it out. Let's excite the emotion of the viewers. And of course, all the time we're using hyperbole and cliches. What a load of rubbish. And the whole thing is in one program of 20 minutes. And in the background, what do we have? Music. Music between every item of news. What is the music for? To make us feel excited or happy or scared? What is it? How can you introduce a news program, which is just information, with music? Again, there's this cognitive dissonance. So my suggestion is, instead of just whinging about it, my suggestion is we abolish all the news programs. They're not allowed anymore, none of them. And especially the 24-hour news garbage programs, like the ABC you get here, and so BBC and so on. So every half hour they repeat every news item. They might slip in a new one every so often, but it's the same news item presented by the same person. And anyway, so my suggestion is that this program, that all the car crashes should go in one channel or one site. You should be able to click on it. And so let's say, okay, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm having my breakfast, and if I want to see the local car crashes, then I can see them. Okay, I won't be doing it, but there must be people who want to do it because it's on the bloody news all the time. Well, okay, then watch your car crashes, but I don't want to watch them. So you can have your car crash channel. And then, if you're into bushfires, you can have your bushfire channel. And if you like floods, you can have your flood channel. And if you haven't got any floods locally, well, we can do stuff for you from overseas if you'd like that. I'm sure we can have a special channel. What about earthquakes? And murders? Yeah, they can be local or they can be international. Sport? Yeah, if you want to watch sport. And you can want to watch overseas sport or you want to watch local sport. Weather? Yeah. Celebrity gossip, if you want local celebrity gossip or you want international celebrity gossip, click here. You can see it all until your heart is content. But don't force me to watch it every 30 minutes, mixed in all together in this great hot pot full of total garbage. I don't want to see it all. I'm only interested in certain things. I like Test cricket. I like tennis. I like international politics. I like music. So I want to be able to click on those things and see what's happening, the latest events that are happening in those areas. That's the news. Thank you. The rest of it, no. No, thank you. I don't want it. Basically, what I want here is for me to choose the news that I want to watch. I'm interested in weather and I want to see the weather here and I want to see the weather in Thailand. I'll look at the weather here and I'll look at the weather in Thailand, please. Right? And then, if I want to watch Test cricket here, I'll look for that. I'll click on it to see that, what's happening. And then, if I'm interested in what's happening in the American election, I'll click on that and do it. I'll choose, please, not some backroom boy sitting in some studio, sitting around deciding what I'm going to watch. And why is he doing that? Because he wants clicks and then he can make money and he can get his corporate sponsors. It's got nothing to do with information or what I want. It's what he wants. So no, thank you. It's the end of the 24-hour news cycle. Definitely, that's the end.